Gray. Ryan Howard back in the rotation after missing the last game against the Aces due to concussion protocol. Bree Jones working her way back from a knee injury. And Angel Reese saying, I am finding my Beltline Barbie. I think we're okay with saying that in Atlanta. Ryan Howard and Paige Becker's friends, and of course, former #1 overall draft picks taking a nice little glance at each other as well, as the Atlanta Dream are in their homegrown Rebel jerseys. With the ATL across the front, they start off with the rock. Jordan Canada sends it off to the wing for Naz Hillman. Early touch on the block for Angel Reese. Walking away from the previous game, said she was disappointed. Didn't come up with double figures or double figure rebounds, as Ryan Howard right away on the inside.
Boy, was she missed versus the Aces. Nice to see her going early, that ball going through the hoop.
This is the second meeting between the two teams. They just met just last week. The Wings dropping that game 72-77 against Atlanta. And that's a game where Jordan Canada got things kick-started for the Dream early. Outside three, no good. Gay with the block touch and just off the mark against her former teammate in Alicia Gray, who spent 6 seasons, the first 6 years of her WNBA career.
Great defense. Great defense by Alicia Gray. Didn't get snuck behind.
Ryan Howard on the sideline. That'll be the first turnover for the Dream. Jose Fernandez coming over from the collegiate side as well in his first season, 25 years
back. Good defensive plays from Atlanta to not allow anything in the paint from Dallas.
Jessica Shepard has been on a tear first year with the Dallas Wings, coming off of a historic triple-double. An amazing performance for her, but also back-to-back double-doubles coming into this ball game.
Coincided with the back-to-back wins for the Wings.
Jordan Canada with a nice spin move, trying to get the steal, but we'll have to settle for just a bucket. Enrique, quick release, wing three, wide right, and Naz Hillman tracks that down.
The pace of this game is trajecting just like the last matchup that they had.
Carl Smesco talking about the pace in which Jordan Canada is able to play with. Alicia Gray, wing three, in and out. Angel Reese collects and finishes on the other side.
So tough. Look at how Reese just tracks the basketball. She had to work for that rebound and for the finish.
A quick 6-0 start for the Atlanta Dream. Wings looking for their first bucket as we're about 3 minutes into play. Angel Reese wanted the steal at the top of the key.
Impressive on that defensive play. Told her she wants to be the defensive player of the year, but we know she can do this. She can rebound that basketball, and right there, got it from a insane.
Does not come lightly. Paige Beckers found some extra real estate, and just off the mark, Wings struggling from the field, getting the good looks, but haven't been able to connect. Third attempt, Jessica Shepard at the rim, off the mark.
Back-to-back offensive rebounds from Shepard, just couldn't connect.
0 for 7 start for the Wings. Atlanta looking to build. Inside out, Jordan Canada three, and a 3-second violation for Angel Reese will actually be another turnover. Our player profile is sponsored by Miracle Grow. We mentioned the triple-double. Well, Jessica Shepard was incredible a game ago.
And that was the second of her career, but the first in franchise history for the Wings. And Jessica Shepard, another player who added muscle in the offseason last season that's just helped her navigate the physicality in the paint.
A veteran experience with Alana Smith and Jessica Shepard joining what was a younger roster with the Dallas Wings. 4 on the shot clock. Jessica Shepard pushed out, and Alicia Gray knocks that out of bounds. 0.7 left on the shot clock as they'll get it right in front of the Atlanta Dream bench.
Shepard thought she had a mismatch with Howard inside of the paint, but Howard is the best defender on this Atlanta team. Just bodied her up and pushed her out.
Over the top, knocked away by Jordan Canada. Great defense for the Dream to start this ball game. What a difference this defense looks like with Ryan Howard on the floor.
1,000.
Takes the bump, and she'll get 2 after charity.
Ryan Howard last game because of reasons like this. Look at how she absorbs the contact from Paige Beckers. A season ago, she would have been a little bit more out of control.
We mentioned the homegrown Rebel jerseys that the Atlanta Dream are wearing right now. That was actually the design was made by Alicia Gray and Ryan Howard, saying it's a symbol of strength and resilience that defines both the city and the players with the bold ATL across the front of the jersey.
Them things nice. I ain't gonna lie. They tight. I like them. I want one.
Okay.
Hint, hint.
India Navarre will check in for the Dream as Alicia Gray will get a rest. You're going back to a game ago where you always mention the rookies that earned their minutes, and India Navarre was a big part of the spark off the bench that was able to work their way back into the game against the Las Vegas Aces on Sunday. Azzi Fudd also in the game for the Dallas Wings. Now, she did not play the first matchup against Atlanta. What will she give this defense? Enrique still off in 0 for Dallas, 0 for 8 from the floor.
And those are good shots by Enrique. She's just being met with some really good defenders.
India Navarre tried to slash on the inside and couldn't connect off the rim. We're almost halfway through the first quarter and no buckets for the Dallas Wings, and another turnover to add to the stat line. Angel Reese going against Azzi Fudd. She had a couple inches on her, decided to move the ball around the perimeter, finds India Navarre. Angel Reese got blocked by Maddie Segrist on the inside. 2.9 on the shot clock. They'll get it back underneath as Atlanta will have another substitution.
Excellent ball movement from Atlanta, just one pass too many. I thought Navarre had that little runner inside of the paint where she freed herself up with that first step. Be bold and take that shot.
Medina Okot coming off of a impressive double-double, the first of her very young WNBA career. Carl Smesko said she is going to be great in the league.
Look at the athleticism though.
And some miscommunication for the Atlanta Dream as far as the shot clock was involved. That's their third turnover. So 3 turnovers apiece as we're approaching the halfway mark here in the first.
And that's the pace of this game, just the defense on both sides making each other do things. Atlanta capitalizing a bit better on the offensive end.
Azzi Fudd guarded by India Navarre. As Ryan Howard collects a steal. And collects some points as well, and Jose Fernandez has seen enough as he calls the first time out of this ball game, and they're in search of some offense for the Wings.
Atlanta's defense is not turnovers, and they've converted things just like this. Ryan Howard getting to the passing lanes and finishes easy. She's got the Dream up 10.
It's about her athleticism, her size, and just her ability to move her feet, but also her basketball IQ and the fact that she really is able to use that to decide how she's going to pick things up and finish. And he said it doesn't matter who is guarding her in the post, she is going to be calm and she is going to attack.
Tanisha, that's some great stuff as Azzi Fudd takes a dip. He's able to get back to Paige Beckers. Out of the timeout, Dallas still looking for their first field goal of the game. Maddie Segrist able to collect and off the mark, so still searching as we're approaching the 4-minute mark here in the first quarter.
Boy, Atlanta's defense is making everything messy in the paint for Dallas. Dallas is going to have to get it going from beyond the arc and kind of work their way back in.
Tingina Pow in the ball game for Atlanta as well after that timeout. Medina tried to find Alicia Gray, instead turns it over. Segrist gets the delivery, and Alicia Gray said not tonight.
Alicia Gray is very quickly being known as a shot blocker in this league. It's AI because she wants to be under the weather with this, but Alicia Gray, everybody knows you're a good shot blocker at the rim. Just says, get that out of my paint.
There it goes, the first field goal for the Dallas Wings comes from the rookie, the #1 overall draft pick in Azzi Fudd. And it's almost like a sense of relief for the Dallas Wings. Before that bucket, all of their possessions came under 10 seconds in the shot clock.
That'll fall for Enrique Gumbuale throughout this game. Pushing in transition, they like to shoot those threes.
Knocked out of bounds by Fudd. Reese will check back in for the Dream. Now Hillman will take a seat.
Good recovery from the rookie and Fudd to stop an easy 2 inside of the paint from Atlanta, slowing the momentum so that they can climb back in this game slowly.
Azzi Fudd coming off of back-to-back games where she scored 12 points, only missed the 1 game against Atlanta. Medina looking for some space and shuffled the feet. That'll be the fourth turnover for the Dream.
It's funny, we talked about the patience of Medina Okot that we've seen in the first few games for Atlanta, but right now, their third turnover on the offensive end.
Dallas with 6 free agency moves after the historic CBA was signed. Bringing in some veterans, 4 seconds on the shot clock. Look at the hovering defense. Paige Beckers out to Fudd. Again, top of the key, too strong.
There goes Jessica Shepard with another opportunity for Dallas.
Arike about 3 feet beyond the three-point line, and Shepard finds the ball again, going at Gray. And it has been a tough go for the Dallas Wings on the inside. They are just 1 for 16 to start the ball game.
Jessica Shepard with 4 rebounds so far in this game, and who's giving her team extra opportunities at the offensive end.
It's her level of activity. Leading by example in that way is Alicia Gray with the left on the right.
Leaning to the right. You're right, Angel. She finished with that left. That was pretty.
The switch, Arike being guarded by Ryan Howard, and Atlanta's defense has really turned it up a notch.
They are on another level the last couple days in practice, just getting into his team. But on the offensive end, Alicia Gray with the runner going right, finishing left. And exactly at the other end, comes up with a steal and causes the foul on the rookie, right?
What a couple of days of rest can do for you as well. As we mentioned at the top of the game, Atlanta hasn't played since Sunday. Their loss against the Las Vegas Aces, 85-84. And the Dallas Wings saying we don't have a lot of time to recover for Atlanta with 1 practice, as Jordan Canada is able to finish at the rim. Paige Beckers pulls up and is too strong. Frustrated look from Paige Beckers as the Atlanta Dream have their biggest lead of the night.
But how deep does she have to shoot that 3? Coming down, trying to create some offense. She's met at the top by Naz Hillman. They're forcing the Wings to have to create their offense and start from at the top of the key, the point of attack.
But might I add, Paige Beckers, that is definitely in her bag. She can pull up from almost anywhere on the floor. But Alicia Gray can pull up anywhere on the floor.
We talked about in the open how Gray had 0 points the first time these two met in the first quarter. She got started early in this one.
Scored the bulk of her points in the second half. Izzy Fudd off the deck. Finishes.
Something's clicking for Fudd these last few games.
Nearly got the steal there, knocks it out of bounds. 1:09 left on the game clock as Atlanta has an 11-point lead.
Fudd with back-to-back games at 12 points. Just the offense starting to come to her. The game starting to slow down on the floor. We know she missed the last game versus Atlanta, but back-to-back 12-point games for her. A lot of those off the mid-range shot, doing different screening actions to get her open.
That is something that Jose Fernandez has mentioned a couple of times in his presser. We have some of the best mid-range shooters. When you're mentioning Fudd, when you're mentioning Paige Beckers, how they can get going and freeing up space for them on the offensive side. Jordan Canada going at Fudd. Doesn't like the look. She has 6 on the shot clock. Had to force it up. Wakuir in the game for Dallas. Less than a minute to go in the first quarter. Going at Angel Reese and a high finish off the glass.
Oh my, just the length of a career, just going, putting the ball on the deck, finishing over a shorter player, but it's the way that she did it, how smooth and squaring up.
Returns to Dallas after being drafted back in 2021, the #2 overall pick in that draft. Tahina Pow up top, Pow it is.
Tahina Pow has both defense and offense in her bag. She's a shot blocker, a good defender, but she can also knock down that 3.
Tahina Pow coming off of her career high with 19 just against Las Vegas, saying, finally, I'm able to eclipse that 16-point mark. And Maddie Segrist, now we're seeing the offense get going for the Dallas Wings. Half-court heave for Jordan Canada. Off to the right, and that will close the first quarter with the Atlanta Dream up by 10.
Atlanta's defense has gotten them a 10-point lead in this one. They are turning their
chance for second chance points.
Yeah, I mean, rebounding is a mentality, it's effort, and we're fortunate enough to have some of the best offensive rebounders. Jess, Lan, Awak, Lee are working their butts off every single game. Jess has been phenomenal on the boards.
For sure, we see you guys working. Good luck in that second quarter.
Thank you.
Guys, back to you.
Thanks, Sinitra. And during that time, Awak has been fouled and will get 2 free throws. But to her point, just the mentality they had to have coming against Atlanta, a team that is known for their physicality. They had a total of 44 rebounds in their first matchup, out-rebounding the Wings by 10.
What I love about AZ Fudd and the bench for Dallas is they've come in and been a spark for their offense, especially Awak as well. She didn't get that free throw, but they got the offense flowing and started for the Wings.
AZ Fudd defending Ryan Howard. Odyssey Sims able to jump into the passing lane. The 5th turnover for Atlanta leads to a pick 6 for Odyssey Sims. Gray going at the rim, couldn't connect. Angel Reese with another rebound. Look at the amount of bodies around Angel Reese.
And this is how Dallas wants to play, transition.
And the foul and 1 for Odyssey Sims. Odyssey Sims,
she just finds a way no matter what team is she on. And look at all the jerseys, all 4 white jerseys around Angel Reese, swarming her, come up with that turnover. And this is the style of play that Dallas likes to play with, take advantage of the numbers that Atlanta didn't have on the defensive end.
Jordan Canada picking up her 2nd foul. And going back to the interview with Sinitra and AZ Fudd, she talked about her impacting the game early and just doing everything, just seeing from the sidelines what you need to bring. And that turnover, the last one for Atlanta, was because of AZ Fudd poking it away. Back-to-back turnovers, and Isaiah James gets in on the action. And the first time out for Atlanta as Dallas has a 14-3 run.
Isaiah James until now, she's turning the defense into offense, reads the passing lanes of Atlanta, comes through with a Euro step and the pretty finish. She's got Dallas within 2.
The Dallas Wings on a 14-3 run, and after only scoring 9 points in the first quarter, they have the first 8 here in the second. Angel Reese held up, sends it back out to Alicia Gray. Can't connect, rebound goes to Reese, you can count it.
A sigh of relief for the Atlanta Dream to get some scores back on the board, because during that run, Dallas caused 3 turnovers, which resulted in an additional 7 points. Just giving Atlanta a taste of their own medicine.
Yeah, 3 turnovers for Atlanta in the quarter as Segrist splash from outside.
Maddie Segrist, her minutes vary game to game. It's dependent on matchups, and this is the kind of matchup that Jose Fernandez wants her in.
She's had no threes in 3 games, and she knocks that one down as Angel Reese finally getting going for the Dream.
Putting the ball on the deck and creating. They left her solo one-on-one with the defense. She took advantage.
Offensive foul going the other way.
Odyssey Sims
with a hook.
Yeah, and she had a couple plays the last time these 2 teams met between her and Jordan Canada. That is a very physical matchup at the top between those 2 guards.
Not many fouls have been called on both sides, just 3 fouls both ways. Unfortunately, Jordan Canada has 2 of the ones for Atlanta, though.
I mean, Jordan Canada goes for steals, and that is a gamble. I think that's one of her teammates and Carl Smesko are okay with having, because when she does come up with them, the other end, it's so dynamic on the offensive end. That's the adjustment that Angel Reese, I asked her earlier about teams stepping in and taking that charge when she puts the ball on the deck, and she says she's going to stick with it, and she has to make the adjust. See it right here. They leave her 1-on-1. She splits 2 defenders, and instead of going to the middle where they've been taking charges on her.
Did say it was on the floor. Angel Reese coming over after spending time in Chicago. The first big free agency move in the offseason. Saying, I want to be a part of something special and also want to be developed by Carl Smesko, going as far back as Florida Gulf Coast. And the development of Naz Hillman, as you can see, with a pure shot from outside.
Nice to see that go down for Naz Hillman. She hasn't been shooting the ball as well as last season, but her teammates having confidence in her, telling her to keep shooting.
Long 2 for Naz Hillman. As Isaiah James could knock that one down. It will stay with Dallas, though, as Jordan Canada and Alicia Gray were fighting for it.
Just unfortunate because that was such good defense by Jordan Canada, on Isaiah James, and she boxed her out, but just the bobble between the teammates knocked it out of bounds.
Arike Agumbawale was built in the draft.
Absolutely, 2 #1 overall picks, and they got those 2 Minnesota players in Shepard and Alana Smith, the veterans, just coming in with their presence in the front court. Yeah, travel.
Yeah, one too many steps for Paige Beckers at the top of the key. Going to be the 7th turnover for Dallas. Well, how about Dallas, though? A team that's coming in at 3-2 and have won back-to-back games. Their most recent one, winning over Chicago 99-89. But if you're looking at coming into the season, a team bringing in a to have that firepower. You mentioned the back-to-back #1 overall draft picks. A combined 19 wins this franchise has had over the last 2 seasons. They were 10-34 last year. Second worst defense a season ago as well, but you bring in the co-defensive player of the year in Alana Smith back in with Jessica Shepard, and that all changes as she comes out of the huddle underneath.
Look at Shepard leading the break.
Arike outside, too strong.
Gray's going to slow it down. She doesn't have the numbers she wants. The defense for Dallas recovered.
Angel Reese wanted to finish on the right, gets the bucket.
Just good patience by Reese inside of the paint. Didn't even need to put the ball on the deck.
And I think an awareness by Ryan Howard to get Reese the touch on the inside, which was once a 2-point game. A 7 until that 3 as Paige Beckers drains another one.
Paige Beckers with a relocate. Odyssey Sims drove in, and Beckers found the open spot where she was just wide open.
Paige Beckers has 20 or more points in 3 of the last 5 games. You have to know where she is on the floor.
Woo. So much contact on that one. Alicia Gray not relying on the call, or no call should I say, but rather on the finish.
Alicia Gray with 6 points. No one in double figures yet. Beckers, oh, here we go.
Smart move by Beckers, realizing that she had Jordan Canada on her backside alone. Just went inside to the middle.
Foul by Odyssey Sims. That'll give it back to Atlanta.
Loving the offense from Alicia Gray. The spin move to get Arike a step slow, going to the right. Spin move and finishes through the contacts, and on the other end, immediately Paige Beckers doesn't wait for the defense of Naz Hillman to come over for the double inside.
Paige Beckers, who had the most points, 692, and assists, 194 by a rookie in the WNBA, also set franchise rookie records for points per game, and assists for the Wings. She can do a little bit of everything, including foul, as she did not agree with that one on Ryan Howard.
Ryan Howard is a lot stronger than what she looks like. She is just at the floor, defense and offense. Look at the footwork, the handles by Ryan Howard. Avoids the double team. She sees Yeru coming towards the middle, just does a spin on Beckers and baits her into the foul. Beckers can't believe it.
Correct some credit, right? Everyone's here to do their job. Good to see Caitlin Clark back on the floor as well, as missing an extensive amount of time a season ago.
Nowhere to go.
6 on the shot clock. Flood, pull up.
The defense of Atlanta again, forcing that shot into transition.
But you have to credit the Dallas Wings for how they've been able to contain Atlanta in transition. Only 2 fast break points for the Dream.
Absolutely, especially since that first break, because the Dream were running off in transition, defense to offense, those turnovers and converting at the other end. But Dallas has made the adjustment and has gotten back on the defensive end to stop those runs.
Less than 5 minutes ago here in the first half. Ryan Howard at the rim. You can tell just sizing up how she wants to get to her spots on the floor.
The recognition by Ryan Howard, she keeps her vision alive, and you don't know whether she's about or just because she's so smooth at it. Look at her eyes surveying around to see what she can get and realizing that Alana Smith was solo dolo creating that contact.
Ryan Howard shooting the only free throws for the Atlanta Dream. She's 5 for 5. Make that 6 for 6, and is now in double figures with 10.
Similar to the last time these two teams met, she got to the free throw line, and that was a big part of her game as well.
She just finds a way to get going offensively in different ways. Atlanta on a 12-4 run. A couple of substitutions coming in for the Dream at the next dead ball. Fudd being guarded by Barlays. Short on the attempt. Up the floor from Ryan. And Sika Kone gets that one knocked out of bounds. Do believe that was AZ Fudd.
Because she has been able to recover defensively and stop some runs from Atlanta. Just look at her going from one player to the next, tracking that basketball and stop Atlanta.
She has been relentless on the defensive end, and if you ask a couple of the rookies what the difference is as far as coming in as a transition from collegiately, is physicality and speed, and she's handled herself very well to start her career. Ryan Howard, wing three, good.
Alicia Gray missed the first shot, but came inbounds just in time to get her own rebound and find her teammate Ryan Howard wide open for that three.
After Dallas scored the first 8 points of this quarter, now Atlanta catching fire on a 15-5 run. Paige Beckers turned down the three and short on the midi. Bounce pass, now Tillman, and delivered from Ryan Howard.
That is exactly what we were just talking about, how Ryan Howard keeps her vision alive. She surveys for the score or for the pass, and Nas Hillman, one of the best at slipping to the basket.
I'd have to say, whatever Carl Smesco said to his team at that timeout, they were searching for their first bucket in the second quarter, might have worked. This is their biggest lead. Enrique off the glass. What a tough finish for Enrique.
I will say this, the refs are letting both of them play because there was contact on that play as well, but Enrique Gumbawale with a nice finish to the right.
Tahina finding Sika Kone, and Jose calling a timeout. Atlanta rolling into on a 2-game win streak as Atlanta trying to get back into the win column after dropping their first and last game against the Aces. Atlanta with a 40-27 point lead over Dallas. And Enrique couldn't connect on the layup.
Enrique spurs some offense for her team. What strikes me is the rebounding discrepancy. Dallas with 10, Atlanta 17 rebounds, which is a big reason for this 13-point lead.
Also 10 assists on 16 made field goals for Atlanta. Tahina, you check it.
Pau filling it for her second made three. The veteran Enrique Gumbawale is going to have to respect that and close out a little bit tighter on Pau.
Atlanta has scored on 11 of their last 12 possessions. They're filling it on the offensive side as Clark can't connect. Seen limited minutes in the start with her new team in Dallas. Clark get the DNP in the last game against Chicago.
One of the best defenders, the 3-time champion.
And Ryan Howard understands the assignment. Gets the foul, and Clark, as you mentioned, the 3-time champion, also very good on the defensive end. Blocks Alicia Gray. So maybe
goggles are slightly off, but you got Clark with a hard foul on Alicia Gray. Just guilt her all kinds of off kilter because she wants to stop the transition game that's been hurting her team. Yes, that's a hard foul. Oh, or not a foul,
yeah,
it was
no
a
foul
block.
there.
So a good defensive play from Clark.
The goggles have been readjusted. Isaiah James with the assignment. They're blitzing at the top of the key to get Angel Reese the ball. The take just rims off. Jessica Shepard brought it up, gets it back, and takes it at the rim and finally drops one in.
And I think Ryan Howard got a piece of that, which kind of helped it go in for Shepard. But right there, the defense to offense for the Wings, just getting some offense spurred. Jose Fernandez trying to get some offense going for his team.
Just the first field goal for Jessica Shepard. Maddie Seegers fanning out. Didn't like the three. Pulls up from the top of the key and just short. Final minute of play in the first half. Ryan Howard with 13 points has been able to play that point guard position as of late, giving Jordan Canada some rest and a foul committed.
That was partially because in last season, yes, Howard had some injuries last year, but also she had to play around some of her teammates who had injuries, and Jordan Canada, who was off the floor for about 10 to 11 games for Atlanta. So Ryan Howard had to see that point guard position and get used to it on the floor, just navigating the top of the key for the Dream.
Angel Reese on the first of the pair. Now Selman checks in for Medina Okot. You mentioned Ryan Howard and just being versatile, one of those players that just checks every box for the Atlanta Dream. You mentioned that she missed 11 games due to injury last year, but still Atlanta finding a way to end up with 30 wins on the season.
And that's because of the depth. Carl Smesko, it's also his teaching, not limiting people on the floor with what they can do, especially with that three ball, telling everybody when you're open, you got to shoot it.
Just off the fingertips of Zaza James, frustrated that she couldn't corral it in.
But Zaza James is going to try and get it back on the defensive end, which is her specialty, converting defense to offense.
The Wings have given up 10 points off of their 9 turnovers. Gray slips and is picked at the top of the key. Tahina Pau gives it up. Clark didn't like the look against Ryan Howard. Segrist left alone and short. Collects her own and short again. Jessica Shepard finds a way to clean it up.
Jessica Shepard with 8 rebounds in this game. Most of those on the offensive end.
Atlanta can hold for the last shot of the half. Up 13, can they build? Ryan Howard going at Paige Beckers. Rims off, Angel Reese! And they'll say no. A foul instead of the made bucket. Angel Reese saying that cannot be correct. The finger wag going at Carl Smesko. A failed challenge for Carl Smesko in the Dream.
And that is the right call, because on the replay that we saw, you can see right there the left hand of Reese that comes in and pushes Shepard, knocking her out of bounds. In fact, displacing her on that rebound.
So unsuccessful challenge for Atlanta. Angel Reese still getting some type of understanding from Kevin Fahey, an explanation. Nonetheless, 3.6 left on the game clock to close out the half. Dallas gets it. Paige Beckers sizing it up, pulls up, and short on the half-court heave. So that'll do it for the first half. Atlanta walking away with a double.
Defensively, you said, hey, the Wings have gotten the stops. They've been staying locked in on their assignments, and that's when they get the stops. But what he wants them to do is get more points off turnovers. So far, turning the Dream over 9 times, getting just 12 points. He wants to see more of that, and he wants to see them do a little bit better ball movement and really just pushing the pace and extending space across the court.
Paige Beckers off on the first attempt, and that's something he's consistently challenging his team. He's known for the space and pace, as there's a lot of contact. Alicia Gray once again losing the goggles. That's unfortunate.
And Gray got up like she wanted to do. Shepard right there, and Atlanta Smith saying it's a mistake coming off the screen. And this has been something, the screening action, trying to free each other up and look, and that's enough. It was a little too aggressive, but I think in total, just a mistake from Atlanta Smith on defensive end.
Atlanta Smith picking up her second foul. No one has over 2 in the ball game.
But I'm not going to lie, Angel, I love how Angel Reese came to the defense of Alicia Gray just immediately. These two have just been teammates for a few games, but already you can tell they've got each other's backs on the floor, and that's the makings of a championship team that can go deep.
Angel Reese saying that the big reason is because her coming to Atlanta is because of Alicia Gray. Obviously, her relationship that she built with Ryan Howard at USA. And then also how Carl Smesko developed Naz Hillman. Paige Beckers, who had 5 points at halftime. Can she get going in the second? Arike.
Just a bit off, too much going to the right. And Arike can finish inside of the paint going to her right well.
Jordan Canada didn't like the look going against Odyssey Sims. Ryan Howard directing the offense. And a turnover as Paige Beckers gets the steal, sends it up, and Smith with the finish.
Alana Smith recognizing that Ryan Howard can block that shot, finishing on the other side. Just a smart offensive play.
Angel Reese getting more touches on the wing, is able to attack and finish.
Odyssey Sims looking around at her teammates like, where is my help side? That's a foot difference in height.
That is a different look for Angel Reese. She was building up, trying to bring the ball up more in Chicago, having more of those face-up opportunities in Atlanta. Shepard was going to set the screen for Arike, instead gets the ball, going at Naz Hillman, working the baseline, attracts two. What a finish.
Excellent finish by Shepard on the inside. Just had to do all kinds of creating, but used that right hook and the backboard to finish.
Jessica Shepard leading all Dallas players with 6 points.
Carl Smesko wanted the foul, but Angel Reese doing an excellent job with the crossover through the paint and finishing on the right.
Now 2 players in double figures for Atlanta. Reese with 11, Ryan Howard with 13. Owakuir will check in for the Dallas Wings at the next break as Arike in and out. Tough night from the floor for Arike.
So many shots just in and out. The touch just isn't there.
Odyssey Sims corner 3 is there though.
Trying to breathe some life back into the offense for Dallas. They've cut this down to 10.
Dallas now 4 for 15 from outside. Atlanta 3 for 8. In the same department, another turnover. Atlanta's had some trouble taking care of the ball to start the third quarter as Paige Beckers finished off the dime from Odyssey Sims and a quick timeout. So not liking what he's seeing from Atlanta during that stretch as they make it an 8-point game. With 7
into the Dallas Wings. Turnovers to offense. Odyssey Sims with a smart dish to Paige Beckers, who completes it for the 2.
Started here at Gateway Center Arena in the third quarter. Atlanta allowed a stretch for the Dallas Wings where they made it an 8-point game. Biggest lead was 16 for the Dream.
And it's the turnovers from Atlanta that's feeding right into it. And there's another one. Paige Beckers stepping in and taking that charge. Atlanta with 12 turnovers, Dallas 16. You can see it right here. Paige Beckers has been doing an excellent job of this. Yes, she is still moving, but it's the squareness of her body.
One of Tanitra's reports from Coach Fernandez was how they were going to find ways to continue to capitalize off the turnovers from Atlanta. Only 16 points from the 12 turnovers for the Dream. The dish underneath, the Owakuir with the finish.
That was a beautiful play. She just followed and tracked the ball, and her teammate knew exactly where she was gonna be.
Just textbook offense, moving without the ball, and a beautiful delivery by Shepard. Oh, a lot of contact on the take for Paige Beckers. Oh boy. And Ryan Howard is literally on top of Beckers, who is in some pain underneath.
It's a hard fall on a hard take to the rim. And yes, those two are friends. Want to get scored on, and Paige Beckers trying to take this, trying to block the shot, but just has an awkward fall to the side of Ryan Howard. Oof.
So we're not sure, honestly, after that fall, which was a hard one, as you mentioned. Just look at the hard fall on the back mainly, and her team coming over. It's okay.
It almost looked like she was grabbing on Ryan's arm to brace for the fall, to help for support, not to foul.
Paige Beckers is able to walk off on her own, which is a great sign, but they did call a foul on her as well. That'll be her third.
That I appreciate doing both broadcasts. They do the home and away, so you can see the different looks and different views from each team's broadcast, just stepping up their game. But Angel, earlier today we were talking about the elusiveness of Ryan Howard's offense, and I think that that last play speaks to that, just how smooth she moves through the paint.
It's her change of pace too, Tabitha, that's so, it's not spoken about enough. It's like how she lulls you to sleep and then finds a way to just at the right moment get to her spots on the floor, and she's made a living at the free throw line so far tonight. 7 for 7. Half of her points have come from the charity stripe. So no Paige Beckers after those free throws for Ryan Howard. We'll continue to give you updates if we get anything on her return. And that's knocked out of bounds, or it will be out of bounds as Atlanta will get it back.
Great recovery by Alicia Gray. Reese had got beat back door. That's a no-no on Carl Smesco's defense. But Angel Gray, or Alicia Gray, excuse me, had her back.
It's okay, I've been called. I know, Angel Reese and Alicia Gray.
Just get out there already.
Just good luck this season. My knees won't, I don't think I can do that. Angel Reese for the dive and mismanage the toss. Jessica Shepard coming down the floor. Had to tap that one back to herself. Stop, AZ Fudd on the move and just short.
You got to finish that if you're Fudd. You beat Angel or Ryan Howard down the floor. Finish the 2.
AZ Fudd was able to recover on Naz Hillman on the outside look. Gray going at Enrique. The turnaround, the left, and yes.
Fumbles the rock just a little bit on the spin move, but had enough to corral it. The nice fadeaway on her old teammate.
75 points through the first 3 games for Alicia Gray. Sitting at 8 points tonight. As Jessica Shepard all night long has taken things into her advantage.
And trying to find something to go. Everything's been tough on the interior, going against the defense of Naz Hillman and sometimes Angel Reese. Gets her 8th point right there. 9 rebounds to go along with it.
Ryan Howard, the hezzy in and out, just couldn't connect on the shot. AZ Fudd going at Naz Hillman. See AZ just looking for some type of relief. Awak-Kawir couldn't reach that one, but Ryan Howard could. 12-11 turnover for Dallas. Jordan Canada, and that's good. Oh, Canada.
Ryan Howard.
A double-figure lead.
Ryan Howard with a sigh of relief because she is gassed. The pace of this game, the tempo has been up and down with no breaks. Howard found Canada right there for the pull-up 3 transition.
Kawir, can she match? And does.
Oh, man. I love me a big that can stretch the floor and shoot the 3, and Kawir just stops and pops.
Ryan Howard, that was poked away, and actually a foul will be called against Enrique.
Teams right here in transition. Howard finds Jordan Canada running the lane on the sideline. Knocks that down, whispers through the net, and right there, too much space for Awak-Kawir because she can do just that. Ignites the Dallas bench for that 3.
Her second stretch the floor, is selective in her attempts, but at the top of the key is where she likes to get him in the trail. Medina Okada on the floor, as well as Lee Yaru. We saw more minutes from her in that matchup against Chicago to see if they can contrast anything from Cardoso. Jordan Canada couldn't connect. Zaya James going at India Navarre, that's in the ball game, the rookie out of North Carolina. Awak-Kawir, what a finish! Add that to the highlight tape.
Come on now. 6'6" from Finland. Awak-Kawir with do tip drill anymore, but this is why you should. Just throws it up. It looked like an alley-oop, and Kawir gets pushed to the back, but finishes it. I love the dime from Isaiah James, and I love the finish from Awak.
Can't complete the three-point play, though.
The easiest shot she's had in both of those possessions.
Yes, absolutely. You talk about the bigs. Not to mention, I mean, a lot of coaches will use different lineups to combat different type of rosters that they're facing each night. We're seeing Leah Rue, who didn't get the matchup against Atlanta in the first attempt last week on the 12th. But also Atlanta, you got to think about what they've been able to do so far on this season. And they're still without Bree Jones, the all-star from a season ago.
So much depth on this Atlanta team, especially in the front court. It's a luxury to be able to have these kind of players come in off the bench and give you a spark.
And Navarre tries to get it to Medina Okot, diving at the rim. Nas Hillman gets that blocked by Kawir, and the putback no good for Canada. Azai James all the way to the rim, and Kawir, what a quarter we are seeing from Awak.
Jose Fernandez has found something in Awak Kawir as Alisha Gray takes a hard here. It looks like the Harlem Globetrotters on both ends of the floor.
Well, are you not entertained?
I am very entertained.
It's been a fun matchup. It's always a great game between Atlanta and Dallas.
Yeah. Because of the tempo, the kind of style, they both like to play transition basketball, push, highlight reels all over the place. Very similar teams, and both teams very deep as well on their roster.
Gray connects. These are her first free throws of the ball game. It's only 3 players that have shot free throws from Atlanta, actually. Angel Reese, Gray now, and Ryan Howard.
Ryan Howard, 8 of 8. You mentioned it just a few plays ago, how about half of her scoring has come from the free throw line. And that's not from a lack of finishing. She's just drawing that contact and baiting the fouls.
Just her presence on the floor makes you think about it. So it frees up so much in their offense. Gray on the second attempt, bottom of the net. Two-possession game, though. Dallas has been right there, made their runs. Atlanta had the first 10-0 run, then Dallas with the 17-5. What are we going to see here in the third? Bud off on the 3. Awak Kawir, outstretched arms, gets it. Tahina Pow missed the attempt, and bodies were everywhere, all over. Trying to see if they could corral the ball in.
All I see are receivers. I see quarterbacks and receivers out here, pick sixing, intercepting basketballs all over the place. You can tell both teams treasure and pride themselves on the defensive end.
James outside. When she gets going, it's dangerous.
Dallas has slowly crept back in this one, only down by 1 possession.
Isaiah James just knocking down her second field goal of the night. Less than 2 minutes to go. A 3 could tie it here for the Wings. They have not led at any point in this ball game. And you cannot impede the process for the offensive player, and Paige Beckers, I guess, too much.
And I guess it was the clapping from Beckers that got that text. Sometimes that emotion, that raw emotion from the game can look a little different to the referees in the moment. Not saying I agree.
Yeah, Paige Beckers just with the question of, are you serious? And you think about all the things on the line for the game. Haven't led, have struggled from the floor, and that one would have been able to make it maybe a 1-point game, maybe even tie it. Bud outside, quick release. No.
And look at the matchup between Okot and Yaru. It's a chess match out here between the two coaches and their subs.
Less than 90 seconds left in the third quarter. Backdoor by Ryan Howard. Stop, pop, good.
Beautiful, beautiful job first by Indian Navarre to not do a turnover, cause a turnover. And Ryan Howard to recognize she was being overplayed by the defense and just go back to work.
Paige Becker's at the rim.
India Navarre just priding herself on the defense. My job is to come in and play aggressive defense. A little too aggressive on that one with the body, but she was going for the ball, gets the strip on Beckers.
Versatility we've seen from Paige Beckers in her career. Yes, she can knock down the three. The mid-range game is solid, but her aggression to the rim has been very good for them so far tonight. And now word from State Farm. It's one more free throw. And off on the attempt. Ryan Howard has been reading the game like a quarterback. Sends it to Naz Hillman, who is off on the right. Paige gets it back. Her usage this quarter has gone through the roof. Isaiah James gets Ryan Howard in the air, and a foul committed by Ryan Howard.
Excellent job, excellent job by the sophomore in the league, and Isaiah James to bait Ryan Howard into that, and it was just a little extra beat in the air, the hesitation that caused that contact and drew that foul.
First foul on Ryan Howard as Isaiah James steps to the free throw line. Off the bench, 5 points, connects on the first. First trip to the free throw line as we have Angel Reese back in the game for Medina Ocon, and Odyssey Sims will come in for Isaiah James. Check that. She'll actually come in for Paige Beckers.
Beckers had that look like, oh, not me.
Does anyone really enjoy coming out of the ballgame when you're that
tired.
competitive?
I mean, when you're competitive, yes. When you're tired, it's another story.
37.5 left in the third. In and out for James.
Immediately, Angel Reese comes in and gets a rebound.
Her sixth of the night. Tahina doesn't need much time, and that's why. My goodness, Tahina.
Pow, pow, 3 of 3 from beyond the arc, and they've all been in each quarter. She had 1 in the first, 1 in the second, now 1 in the third for 9 points.
Coming off her career high, it's 19. Odyssey Sims.
Thought twice.
Downhill, sends it out to Awakawir. Oh, wow!
No, she didn't Wimby us. No, she did just Wimby us.
From the logo. And the tongue sticking out because it was that in
Disbelief.
1.4 left. Odyssey Sims just off the mark, and that will do it for a very entertaining and electric. Trying to bring the ball up the floor, finds Naz Hillman. More action from Ryan Howard, finds Gray on the wing. Shepard just takes out Ryan Howard straight through the chest, and Ryan Howard's been all over the floor tonight as Paige Beckers
is going straight to the rack, steps in, squares her body, and on the other way.
The second foul on Shepard. Assist. I thought you were going to pass it to Awakawir and see her knock down another 3 at that
I'm
point.
assisting the ref. I ain't got nothing to do with the game.
"16 turnovers for Atlanta, 21 points given up off of them." Odyssey Sims finding Paige Beckers. You mentioned the impressive third quarter that we saw from her.
And she knew she had to be better offensively.
Jessica Shepard drew about 3 different bodies and still got the bucket.
Avoided the double team, saw it coming, kind of fumbled the basketball, but went to the other side to finish.
Jessica Shepard, the second player now in double figures for Dallas. How about Awakawir being the first with 15? 7 on the shot clock. Ryan Howard on the dime, but couldn't connect.
Weir has played pretty much this entire second half.
Easy Bud, the movement on the baseline. Atlanta Dream just lost her like a flash.
And that's not the defense that Carl Smeska wants to play. That's what Ryan Howard was talking about, getting back to what they did in that first quarter, in the first half. You can't allow them to get behind you, but just a good job of moving without the basketball for Dallas.
It's a one-point game, and here's Odyssey Sims with the steal. On the left, her strong side, and gives Dallas their first lead of the ball game.
Dallas forcing has been a big part of their offense. Transition basketball right here. Odyssey Sims, the head of the snake, finishes, puts Dallas up 1.
The movement without the ball even better. AZ Fudd just a high IQ of where she wants to be on the floor, as the look out of the timeout for Ryan Howard puts the Dream back up by 1.
A lot of the layups in this second half have been on the other side of the rim, realizing this has been a physical game. Shots are being blocked. Teams are adjusting.
Gray now with the assignment of Fudd. Sends it to Paige Beckers on the wing, just off. 7th rebound for Angel Reese as Jordan Canada putting on some speed. Backdoor, Gray, yes!
Giving them a taste of their own medicine. Now we see Atlanta doing a bit of what Dallas did, getting behind the defense, moving without the basketball.
So back-to-back buckets for Atlanta after the timeout. Owaku has already knocked down 2 threes, thought about it, sends it to Paige at the top of the key, and she's off on the last 2. Reese showing some of that point forward, yes!
I like the recognition by Angel Reese to realize she not only just had the numbers, but she was one-on-one with a player who's a step slower than what I'm talking about for Atlanta, pushing the ball, moving without the basketball. Alicia Gray gets behind the defense, and on the other end, you talk about the point forward where Angel Reese says, you're gonna get these handles, and finishes at the rim.
Atlanta on a 6-0 run after Atlanta called the timeout, with Dallas going up 64-63. Wakuir will be charged with the travel.
And Angel Reese with a smile on her face, because she knew that she took the bait on the shot fake and didn't stay on her feet. But the good thing is Wakuir didn't convert on it and committed the turnover.
Atlanta on a 6-0 run in less than a minute. Knocked out of bounds by Owaku. Feel the energy in the arena after Atlanta was able to make the run going back up.
They also just swag surfed during the break, so
that could do it too. More ball movement from the Dream.
Look at that.
The 18th assist for Atlanta, and Naz Hillman with the finish.
Just a slip to the basketball, the knack, and we keep mentioning it, to move without the rock in your hands and not stand still and ball watch.
Wakuir finding a lot of minutes in this ball game, going over Angel.
Passing from Jordan Canada, the vision. She draws in the defender and Shepard, who was defending Naz Hillman, and Naz Hillman, one of the best in the game, is slipping to the rim. Look how she just goes around, evades the defense, help side ain't there. She takes advantage.
Third foul on Angel Reese as Wakuir back at the free throw line. Couldn't knock it down as I. James got a hand in the cookie jar just for a quick spell, but Ryan Howard able to collect it back. Again, seeing Ryan Howard playing more of that point position, bringing the ball up the floor.
Oh my.
Putting on a show, off the glass, nothing there.
A lot of contact through that one, but I like what Ryan Howard told us a couple breaks ago. Not dependent on the referees.
Jessica Shepard was trying to find space underneath. Wakuir thought about it, not sure why, but turns the ball over on too many steps.
Sometimes the eagerness to make a play, to try and get to the rim, you think you're open and you just shuffle those feet. Wakuir, go back to shooting that 3, girl. You were lighting it up.
Looked pretty good from our vantage point. under the halfway point in the fourth quarter.
If you're Alicia Gray, you got to know that Angel Reese is being guarded by a player who's a few inches taller than her. You telegraph that pass, she can get that.
Dallas will get it back, 65-71. A lot of time in this ball game. You can quickly look to the box score right now, and Arike Gumbawale with just the 2 points still that she had in the first quarter. And this is after having 3 of the last 5 games with 20 or more points.
Credit Atlanta's defense. Alicia Gray locking in on the defensive end.
Jessica Shepard one-on-one defense with Naz Hillman and an offensive foul because of that off-arm wraparound.
Jessica Shepard has been putting the ball on the deck. The Euro League and her time in Europe for it, but right there, that hook, you're going to get called for it, and it's definitely a point of emphasis this season in the WNBA.
Third foul on Jessica Shepard. All the action, all the runs, and it's still just a 2-possession ball game. Gray tried to work the baseline, gets bumped by James. So that will reset the shot clock to 14. And the second on James.
And look at what the offense for Atlanta did. Cleared out. Alicia Gray getting her goggles right over us. I thought she was coming to us for a second. I said, what can we do?
You don't have any power here at the desk, Gray. Sorry.
Made me nervous.
We're told that she goes through about 3 pair a game.
I think she has 5 total, right? Or no, it was 8.
And they're not prescription. They're just super powered. So Paige Beckers picks up the foul. That's her 4th, team 2nd. So they'll have a few more before there's free throws going up for Atlanta. The pace has significantly changed here in the 4th.
There's a lot more calls. Teams, there was a few layups where people were getting behind the defenses, but outside of that, you've got both squads kind of going to the free throw line, drawing fouls.
Alicia Gray asking for the ball in the paint. And the one-on-one matchup against Arike, but Ryan Howard is absolutely the option.
I mean, the spread for Ryan Howard, 50% from the floor, 2 of 3 from 3, 9 of 9 from the free throw, 6 assists, 4 rebounds, 4 steals, 20 points, 2 blocks, all over the floor.
I like what I want my bank account to look like. Jessica Shepard off the mark. Dallas has only had 1 field goal since they took the lead, when they had the lead at 64, actually. So they've actually shot just 1 free throw since that timeout by Carl Smesko.
So you can see the adjustment in real time for Atlanta, and that's why Carl Smesko takes those rebounds. That's why any coach takes those timeouts, excuse me.
So 1 point, as we just mentioned, and 2 turnovers in the last 8 possessions is not something that Dallas would be proud to see.
Credit Atlanta's defense, though. They are making Dallas do some uncharacteristic things.
Jordan had the defense fall to sleep.
She hesitated at least 3 different times to get around 3 different screens and defenders.
13-1 run for the Dream after the timeout. Arike pulls up. Beckers has struggled going against the length of Ryan Howard all night. 6 on the shot clock. James gives it back to Beckers. Working, finding space, but sends it back to Shepard in the corner. Good offense and a foul going against Arike as Gray flew halfway across the paint.
Was an extended arm from Arike Gumbawale in the back of Alicia Gray, but that's the positioning that Alicia Gray does a good job with. She's a 6-foot guard that can rebound and block shots. Just goes in and boxes out, causes that foul.
Less than 3 minutes to play in this ball game. Atlanta has taken the control as of late. 2 former #1 picks going at it. Got to credit Paige Beckers for how she's been able to defend Howard, but it's the tandem with Gray that makes them so difficult to guard.
That first quick step, Alicia Gray just catching the defense off guard.
Paige short on the 3 attempt. Here comes Jordan. Speedy, spins, finds the hands of Ryan Howard. Gray said, I'll take it, and gets the left side layup and puts them up 15.
A few mistakes on that one, but I guess when you practice good habits, you can finish in that way. Atlanta with the lucky 2 in transition.
Dallas needs buckets quick. James, 3-0 there. 90 seconds left in this ball game. Atlanta trying to go 3-1 for the first time to start the season since 2022, and Ryan Howard trying to make it happen.
Ryan Howard with the biggest plus on the floor, plus 16. Got 25 points in this one. Just doing everything for the Atlanta Dream at both ends of the floor.
How about this, Tabitha? A 19-1 run. Play is sponsored by Kia, and Ryan Howard is all over it.
I mean, defense to offense. She's a two-way player. The best offensive player, hands down, on this Atlanta team. They'll tell you that, and it's because she can convert her defense into her offense. She's done it from all over the floor. We know Ryan Howard loves a good get-back game just from the few seasons that she's had with the Atlanta Dream. You don't want to make her mad because this is the output. And I asked Howard how much it ate her up not to be able to play in that Vegas game, and she had to take a deep breath because she was ready to get on that floor.
Such a good game at State Farm Arena against the reigning champions and the #1 overall team right now in the standings. And the Las Vegas Aces, Chelsea Gray, the point guard, showed up in the last seconds for that win. Odyssey Sims at the free throw line for Dallas. 1:04 left on the game clock, and she drains the first of the pair. Odyssey Sims, who was a late add for this season. You wonder why that is ever the case after how good we saw her perform last season in the playoffs with the Indiana Fever.
She always seems to get picked up. She reminds me of a Dennis Schroeder in the NBA. Has seen a whole bunch of different teams, but always manages to find herself on a roster.
That's the first bucket for Isabel Borlase. Tigers going against one of the newest acquisitions for Atlanta. Nalia Nye brought in off the waivers that they were claimed after she was let go by the Tempo. And India Navarre, welcome to the WNBA, her first bucket in the league. About a 10-11 second difference from the game and shot clock as Odyssey Sims snaking around for the bucket.
For her 12 points, she also has a sneaky 5 assists in this game. Just Odyssey Sims able to do a plethora of things in the offensive end, but it's not enough. So Atlanta's going to take this one home.
Atlanta getting back in the win column, now 3-1. Dallas will drop to 3-3 on the season.